Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby. The 9.0 test server is up and I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about the upcoming historical battles. The historical battles will be different from the battle types of which you have standard, encounter and assault in 9.0. It's going to be a completely different game mode, much like the team battles that was released a couple of patches ago. The historical battles will be at the bottom, you'll click it, and then you'll be greeted with 3 different battles that you can participate in. So there are 3 different historical battles to choose from. This is the Battle of Kursk. Don't worry about the Cyrillic font, this is just because I'm on the test server. Lake Balaton and the Ardennes offensive. Kursk is between the USSR and the Germans. Balaton is between USSR and the Germans as well, while Ardennes is between the US and the Germans. Looking at Kursk, we have a Tier 5 Russian tank destroyer, a Tier 6 Russian heavy tank, Tier 5 Russian medium tank, a Tier 3 Russian light tank, a Tier 3 Russian tank destroyer, and the biggest of the Russian tanks at the Battle of Kursk, the Su-152, versus the Panzer IV-H, the Stug 3, the Panther, the Panzer III, the Panzer II, the Tiger, and the Ferdinand. So if you're so inclined, you can play one of the very low-tier tanks, such as the Su-76, and be fighting against Ferdinands. Now that might provide you excellent opportunity to, for example, be a forward scout. Or maybe you can ambush the Ferdinand and still be able to penetrate his side or his rear, especially if you fire some of the very limited supply of premium ammunition that all of the vehicles get. Looking at Lake Balaton, the top tier tank on the Germans is the Jagdtiger. I will be releasing a video showing this battle where the Jagdtiger is severely outnumbered by lower tiered Russian vehicles. The ISU-152, which actually, for this historical battle, uses the 122mm, so it's really an ISU-122. A T-34-85, a very strong entry at the medium tank, at the Battle of Balaton. It provides excellent flanking opportunity for the Russians. A couple of tank destroyers, an IS and a T-34. The Germans, very interestingly, get the Tiger II, as well as a Jagdpanther. If we look at the Ardennes offensive, it is Tier 6 US tanks versus mostly Tier 7s and 1 Tier 8 German tank. Now you might be saying, oh, this is so unfair, this is so unfair. As I said in my last video, don't worry, the amount of tanks on either side are not going to be even. You're obviously going to have a lot more tanks on the US team than on the German team in the Battle of the Ardennes offensive. So a couple of things that you should know. Firstly, you can use your regular crew in the tank and all of the crew skills that they should have. I'm going to be talking through as if I was playing the Hellcat as an example here. Secondly, you can use all of your equipment on the tank and your consumables on the tank, and you can customize them here, as you can see. However, the ammunition that you use will be set. And this is to prevent people from loading, for example, full premium ammunition. Premium ammunition in historical battles is a commodity, and it's to be used when the need arises to use it. You can't compensate for being a lower tier tank engaging a heavy tank. You might have to literally avoid that engagement or work with your team to be able to overpower the enemy tank. We can see the Hellcat uses a 76mm in the Ardennes offensive, and it only gets 3 premium rounds to fire during the battle. What this means is that you're going to have to really choose when you use those APCR rounds, and you will have to use your knowledge of the difference in penetration between your AP and your APCR rounds to figure out what is the best situation to use them in. Realistically, you're going to have to get flanking shots into the side and the rear of quite a few of the German vehicles, especially, for example, a Tiger II. So you have to pay for all the ammunition up front, but don't be afraid because it gets refunded to you for any ammunition that you don't use at the end of the battle. Your loadout is also fixed. As you can see here, there's a historical loadout fixed at the bottom. We can see that this tank uses the 76mm, not the top 90mm that you could use on the Hellcat in the random battles, amongst the other modules that it uses. And there you have it. All you simply do then is click battle, and you're ready to go. So here we can see we're loading into a game where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tier 6 American tanks versus 5 Tier 7 German tanks. Let's see how it goes. Looking at the loadout of our ammunition, we have 128mm of penetration with our regular ammunition, and we have 177 with our APCR round. However, those APCR rounds are only going to account for, on average, 330 damage, even if we penetrate all of them.
Time to roll out.
We're definitely going to have to get side shots and rear shots into the enemy, otherwise we're going to have a lot of problems. I'm going to be going west as quickly as I can. I'm going to go to the position that's at J1. I must have the caveat that I'm literally going to include this as an example game to give you an idea of how the historical battles will play out. I won't be playing 10 games and trying to find a really good one. So if I really do suck out here, please don't hate on me. Alright, so when you outnumber the enemy, in my opinion, it's a really bad idea to split up your forces unless you're going to be able to provide flanking fire. The American tanks, we're using quite a few Hellcats. What that means is that we do have the speed on the enemy. We definitely do have the speed on the enemy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get forward into this bush. I'm going to use the fact that I've got amazing camouflage compared to the Tigers to set up my binoculars here and wait to see how the game develops. So instantly we've spotted one of the Tigers. I don't really want to fire at him. I'm going to maybe let my friends fire at him. Hopefully this guy doesn't come up directly behind me and start firing. Just going to keep an eye on these Tigers and see what they do. One of them stopped in that bush. The other one's chilling back there. I think if I fire that I will probably get spotted. You can see my friends are starting to unload. I'll keep my binoculars activated. I don't think the chances of us penetrating them with a 76mm at this kind of distance is very good, though. I'm quite worried about how this engagement is going to go down. We have to wait for the Tiger to advance. So there's one shot into the Tiger. You can see the Tiger does have the fully upgraded turret and the 88mm. Our EZ-8 will hopefully pull back and allow us to get the Tiger together. He's made an aggressive maneuver. I didn't want to get spotted here right now, though. I want to keep an eye out to see if any of the other Tigers are being aggressive. Fortunately, we've already lost one of the Hellcats on the other flank. Good shot by the EZ-8. I don't want to get spotted in the open, though, right now. Okay, we've just spotted what the enemy Tigers are doing.
We didn't penetrate their armor. Critical hit. Critical engine damage. We're stuck here. Penetration. That one didn't go through.
So I've been hit twice, unfortunately. We have to really catch these Tigers out in the open and outmaneuver them. This isn't going to work like this.
Critical hit. We didn't even scratch them. We didn't penetrate their armor. Critical hit.
Can't penetrate the Tigers.
We're dead for. Everyone
And we're
get out.
defeated. So the Ardennes offensive, if you split your forces up, it's a really bad idea. The only way we were going to win this is if we all worked together and we went down one flank and we literally hounded the Tigers. We needed to all attack and hopefully get the Tigers when they were split up and put pressure on them. That's the only way you're going to win, really, against 5 heavy tanks which have got 3 times the health that you have. Effectively, they've got 5 times 1,500 health, and we've got 6 times 550 health, which is pretty awkward, really. Considering how low the penetration on our guns are, that means that we really need to shoot those Tigers in the side or the rear, otherwise we're going to lose. Anyway, that was an example of the Ardennes offensive. I'm going to move into one of the other ones now and give you guys a different idea. I'm going to have a go in the Su-152 now in the Battle of Kursk. Let's hit it hard. So here we go. We're fighting on Prokhorovka in the Battle of Kursk. This Su-76 has a very key role to play. What he needs to do is scout for our team. Looks like our Su-152s want to go down the west. The enemy have got 5 Tiger tanks and a Ferdinand. If we get to engage the Tiger tanks at range and all of our SUs fire, then we can completely obliterate them. What the KV-1Ss can't do is allow themselves to be shot in the turrets. Otherwise it's going to end up very badly for those tanks. So, we're going to situate ourselves down the west. One thing that usually happens on this map is that the Germans, with their heavy tanks, end up going into this location around here. What they end up doing from there is basically poking and spotting and causing a huge amount of destruction to all of our KV-1Ss that usually end up in the middle, and this is happening no different. What I expect is the Ferdinand to be situated far down the west corridor. Wait till he gets spots. Interestingly though, the Ferdinand only gets the 88mm, so if he does spot us, it's not as if he's going to 2-hit us. So we're going to start to aim our gigantic 152mm to the side. Hopefully put one. Oh no, he didn't. Oh yes, he did. See the Tiger turret blow off there as the SU-152 puts in a killing shot into the Tiger. Wow, that was brilliant. Did not expect an ammo rack there. That was fantastic. All right, so we can see the Tigers are giving our KV-1Ss hell. They're killing most of these guys. I'm going to go forwards and get myself into a position where hopefully I can still shoot across. Firing those gigantic HE shells. So our KV-1Ss, in my opinion, played too aggressively. They should have just bided their time and waited for the game to develop. But no one's really taking the historical battles, as I would say, seriously on the test server at the moment. They're kind of just playing it for the lols, which is fine. I think when we get to the live server, that the games will develop a lot differently and people will actually care for their lives, so on and so forth. We'll see how the game develops from there. So there's a Tiger right there. Hopefully we're going to kill it. Oh, okay. The SU-152s shut him down very hard. So now, we've lost 4 tanks. The enemy have lost 2 tanks. Oh, the Ferdinand has been spotted. I'm going to load my heat shell. Doesn't look like I got spotted. Let's hope that this heat shell penetrates. We can see the Yag Tiger's 88 is making a mincemeat out of my friend. Hope for the heat shell pen. Oh, we penetrated our heat shell. We only get 1 heat shell for the battle, and I managed to put it into the most important enemy target there. Doesn't look like we were spotted as well. So literally that heat shell was a one-off. It has 250mm of penetration compared to 135 with the AP shell. Managed to murder that Ferdinand. I think they know where we are though as they're firing into our bush location. We lost another one of our SU-152s. I think they're flanking around the west. I'm just trying to spot for my team. Looks like we might be about to lose the Battle of Kursk. Hit him once. Can my friend hit him as well? Looks like my friend was sleeping. I think he might be still repairing his tracks. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, we can't see them. I really wish I had binoculars on right now rather than a gun-laying drive. Oh, there's another Tiger. After I fire the shot, I need to get off this hill. We've been spotted. Let's get off this hill. Looks like we've lost the Battle of Kursk. Ferdinand shooting me in the side. Tiger's playing aggressively. Oh, we did our best. But unfortunately, it looks like the Soviets have lost today. So it feels like the Tiger in the historical game mode is... Wow, look, the top of the SU blows off now as well. Look at that. You can see right inside the tank. That's pretty cool. When... Oh my word, can the SU-76 do it? Wow, he can only get out a draw. He waited for too long. He needed to make his attack a lot longer ago. But it feels like to me that the Tiger is a very strong tank on the map types. Like, fair enough, the SU-152 you could argue is very strong on Prokhorovka if it can remain unspotted. But what it requires is that for people to spot for it because its view range is very slight. So we need a gentleman like this SU-76 to be able to get forwards with good camo crews into bush locations to be able to spot for us. And that's the kind of thing that hopefully will happen when the historical game modes come to full release. Because at the moment on the test server it feels very much like everyone seems to just want to play in the Tiger. And the Tiger's a very good all-round tank and it's very hard to deal with them in this Battle of Kursk. So the SU-76 managed to track the Tiger. I have no idea, maybe the Tiger's run out of ammunition? Doesn't really make sense. Maybe he just wants to ram him to death for the lols. And yeah, he just shaved off half his health by tapping his tank. But what do I think about the historical game modes? Well, I don't feel like the test server is very representative of how the game might develop on the live server. I don't think that people really know the capabilities of the tanks, and I think that a lot of people are just playing them for the sake of playing them. These KV-1S drivers, as an example, they could have done a hell of a lot more. In my opinion, they could have just lasted and allowed our SUs to do the damage. That was one of the most important things that the KV-1Ss did, was to spot for the SU-152s. Because realistically, the SU-152s are the only thing that's going to do huge amounts of damage to the enemy. But people don't think like that on the test server. They just want to get in there and shoot. But when it comes to the live server, and people actually care about the experience and care about spotting the enemy and care about winning, then I think that the game mode is going to be very interesting in the way that it plays out. I really like the way that you can have more tanks than the enemy team. It makes the playstyle different as well. So I'm very interested to see how more of the historical battles will play out. I'm going to play a few more games, and I'll try and upload maybe 1 or 2 of the highlights to you directly. So look for those videos. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this gameplay of the new historical game mode that's coming up in 9.0. If you've enjoyed or it's been useful to you, please consider rating it down below. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments what you think about the game mode. Do you have worries about it? Do you like the way it seems to be turning out? Let me know what you guys think. As always, thank you so much for watching. I've got loads of other videos on 9.0 test server that you might want to consider seeing. And if not, hopefully I'll see you soon.